Hey, looks like we got some people joining us on the traditional landline or cell line. Who's that? We got the 208 area code. Not sure where that is, but welcome to the call.
And we got a 219 area code. Welcome to the call.
I know where 219 from. Guess where that's from?
Yeah.
Gary, Indiana. Welcome to the call. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Welcome to tonight's call. We are so excited to have you on the call this evening. I'm Joetta Ali. This is my lovely better half, Kevin Ali.
No, you got that mixed up.
We want to welcome everybody to the call. We got some great information to share with you tonight. Quick background about myself. We're going to get right into it. Hey, I've been involved in corporate America, and guess what? About 6 months ago, a little over 6 months ago, corporate America told me, you know what, your services are no longer needed. But luckily, I had some backup. I had some insurance in place because I've always kept my mind open to different opportunities. Mr. Oliver shared with me a business opportunity about 30 years ago back in Montgomery, Alabama. That was in the long distance sector. He said, look, we're going to have a bunch of fun doing this. We're going to help a lot of people. We're going to make a real difference in our community. And back then, it made a whole lot of sense. I kept my business mind open. That's what we want you to do tonight. Keep your business mind open. It's not all about what you're doing one thing. We've got to have multiple streams of income in these uncertain times. And we got some crises going on in our community, both on the financial side and both on the health side, both on the health and the wealth side. We've got what we believe is a little bit of an answer to both of those, ladies and gentlemen. When Mr. Oliver brought this to me and said, hey, natural stem cell activation, it made sense to me. I understood what stem cells are. When we were kids, we had millions of them stem cells in our body, and they are the body's natural intended repair system. But let me tell you something. I always kept my mind open. But here's a young lady who has always kept her business mind open. This is really the home-based business guru in the family, my wife, Joetta.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, I come from the background of corporate America. I had about 15, 20 years in corporate America. I got tired of people telling me when I can go to break. I got tired of them telling me, oh, you can't take no vacation now. I got tired of being controlled. And then I came into the home-based business arena, and I love that because it's more freedom and you enjoy working with people, and I just love it. And most recently, I became a certified herbalist because we believe in the natural health arena, and this patch fits in with what we already love to do.
Perhaps you guys have heard about stem cells. If you were paying attention on the radio, and I guarantee you after tonight's briefing, you are going to notice that you're hearing it more, but they've been talking about it. It's the way to naturally repair the body. They've been talking about, but they've been talking about the old way of doing it with the injections. Perhaps towards the end of you remember Kobe Bryant's career, he got what was known as stem cell injections to repair his knee cartilage. Those cost $250,000 each time they worked. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They worked for him, but 30% of the time they don't work. You still got to pay the bill though.
Yep.
And guess what? Most people's insurance does not cover that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the sticker shock out of the way right now. We are literally talking about the X39 natural stem cell activation patch. We're not talking about tens of thousands, or even hundreds of dollars. We're talking about you can get involved in our business and or as a customer for about $99 and some shipping and handling. So let's get that sticker shock right out of the way. So that way now we can keep our business minds open. We can keep our, just like a parachute. The mind works just like that. If a parachute don't open, it don't work. The same goes with your mind. So let's take a look at that. With that as a little bit of a background, let's take a look at why we are talking about this phenomenal new product, this phenomenal new business line, the X39.
But we're talking about this because when we were born with millions of stem cells that's working and getting the body right. But by the time we turn 30, 50% of those stem cells just stop working. They've gone dormant. And by the time we turn 60, Kevin is 62, and I'll be 62 in a few years. I'm sorry, I'll be 60 in a few years. 90% of the stem cells stop working. They go inactive. And basically, stem cells make up tissues and organs in our body. They're the body's actual intended repair system. So when those stem cells stop working, we start to feel the effects of aging in our bones, in our back, all over our body, and millions of people experience the effects of aging.
Millions. The only way you don't age is not to be born. They don't just go. They just don't drop off when you turn 30 or 60. They are decreasing slowly over time. Now, how's the X39 work?
Well, it's a proprietary form of phototherapy. Now, when you're thinking of phototherapy, one good example I can give you is going out into the sun. The sun tells your body, go ahead and produce vitamin D. That's a form of phototherapy. That light hits your body and it causes to go ahead and produce that vitamin D. That's what the patch does. The patch tells your body, go ahead and start to reactivate those dormant stem cells. It's a patented nanocrystal technology. Now,
nano means small.
Right.
There's little plant-based natural crystals that reflect light in this patch.
Exactly. It's non-transdermal. Like I said, reflects light to activate. It's no drugs, it's no chemicals, so nothing is soaking into your skin, and it's just safe to use. This patch is 100% non-invasive.
Does not invade your body anyway. Doesn't interfere with any medication you're already taking or any medical condition that you already had. That is what the CEO and the founder of the patch has said. So we're going to take a quick shift of gears here. I told you guys that you should have a pen and pad and paper so you can take copious notes on tonight's information. So we're going to look at about an hour video, and then we're going to take a quiz afterward.
No, we're not.
Just kidding. The video I think we got queued up is about 3 minutes, and no quiz afterwards. But we're going to come back right after this video to take a deeper dive in who we are as a company, about the patented technology, and a little bit more about the X39 and what's in it for you. So we'll be back in about 3 minutes.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. Since 2004, LifeWave has been delivering its amazing life-enhancing technology to people across the world, always helping the body do what it was designed to do, only better. And as it turns out, the best was yet to come. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind LifeWave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single LifeWave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all LifeWave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body. How you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39. Live long, live well, live younger. Experience the power of LifeWave today.
Awesome, ladies and gentlemen. If you take a close look at that particular video, you will notice
We all hope to age.
you will notice that you will notice that there are actually an electron micrograph of the actual stem cells. The other thing that I did not notice for about the first 2 months that I looked at that video was that there were 6 multinational pharmaceutical corporations that were identified that were attempting to get this particular patent. Novartis, Johnson & Johnson, Glaxo Wellcome, there's a couple of others. Pfizer. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that many multinational, multi-billion dollar corporations, some of them up to trillions of dollars, they will go patent shopping and they will go and purchase patents. They will say, does this patented product compete with a product line we already have? You know what? No, we'll make more money with our existing product line. Let's take that patent and throw it up on the shelf. They will do this, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. David Schmidt was different. He spent $4.5 million of his own money and 10 years of his time to bring the X39 to market. How much do those other multinational drug corporations spend trying to get that patent? And what would they have done with that patent if they got it? This gentleman now has over, I got to fix this slide. He's got over 200 patents now. He's a scientist. He's an inventor. He's the creative force behind LifeWave and the inventor of the X39. He's got other documentation. Prior to this, he was tasked by the United States government to make a technology patch for the U.S. government Navy SEALs to keep them mission ready on submarines, on aircraft carriers for 24, 48, 36 hours so they didn't have to drink coffee, take stimulants, take other type of drugs and pills. He made this technology patch. You think the government, if they trust him with their best asset, do you think he knows how to make one for the general public? Of course he does. He also started specializing in age reversing in 2008, focusing on stem cell research. Ladies and gentlemen, these patches also are approved by the U.S. Olympic Committee, the U.S. Anti-Doping Committee, the International Olympic Committee, and the International Anti-Doping Committee. Why did they get involved? Because they saw the Stanford swim team wearing these patches during one of their meets, and they said, you know what? They're good because nothing's going into the body. So Mr. Schmidt is actually behind the X39 and LifeWave as a whole. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is very important because I need you to put your business hats back on and tighten them up real quick. It's patented. What does that mean? Back 35 years ago when Mr. Oliver introduced me to that long distance-based, home-based business, it was not patented. And you know what that meant? That meant after a couple of months of me being in the business, several other companies, a couple of other companies actually, came into that space and started reselling long distance to consumers, taking away market share, confusing the consumer. Consumers say, you know what, I'm just going to stick with what I already had. Taking away revenue, that's what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, that can't happen with us. We have the exclusive patent for another 15 plus years. The patent is only 5 years old. It's going for another 15 plus years. And here's what the patent says. It also means it's effective. When you get a patented technology in this space in the marketplace, you have to prove that it does what you say it's going to do. And so you got that exclusivity, you got that efficacy. That translates and screams business opportunity. Here's what the patent says. It's a wearable phototherapy apparatus. Look like a Band-Aid stick on your skin, nothing complicated. But it produces beneficial effects to the human body, such as activation of stem cells, improvement in strength, improvements in stamina, pain relief via a non-transdermal container. The non-transdermal apparatus reflects or emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate levels of the copper peptide GHK-Cu in the body. You can read that entire patent on our website that many of you were sent to prior to this call, thisisitinfo.com. It is 31 pages long. My eyes started glazing over after about the first paragraph I read. I didn't want to read all that. I don't want to know all that. I just know that we have phenomenal technology and patented technology behind it. Now, what are some of the benefits of wearing the X39?
Now, some of the benefits that me and Kevin have seen is increased strength. When we go to the gym, we're able to lift more weight, eat with ease, mental clarity is through the roof, reduce inflammation. Now, when we used to have all that pollen outside, we used to feel that mucus feel in our throat. Now we don't even feel that anymore. Restored muscle and skeletal conditions. We have the best muscle and skeletal conditions in life, basically. Energy and vitality is through the roof. Improvement in sleep. We're getting the best sleep ever. That REM sleep, where we're dreaming and we're remembering our dreams. Increased stamina, excellent, as well as improved skin appearance. I'm loving the fact that less wrinkles are in my skin, and just imagine all throughout your body that collagen is increasing.
I even told Joetta today, I said, I weigh 236 pounds. I said, but my fat percentage scale at home said, I'm not getting any more fat. I'm actually bulking now, being on the X39, but I'm not gaining a bad weight. I'm gaining actually muscle weight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's over 80 clinical studies on our website, thisitinfo.com. That is called what's known as science. This is but one of those studies. And in this study, it was a 77-year-old woman. So they did a topographic map of her brain. She came in complaining of a hyperactive brain. She couldn't calm down. She couldn't get her thoughts together. That those neurons or brain cells are just firing off randomly. Just can't calm down. That sounds interesting. Let's look and confirm this. So they looked down through the top of her skull with this topographic scan. That red, dark orange, warm color, that represents inflammation in the brain, ladies and gentlemen. This confirms her description of a lack of brain coherence. Inflammation of the brain right there. So they took the X39, they said, place it on the back of the neck for study purposes. Consistency, that's how you do a scientific experiment, is to come back in 3 weeks and we'll take another look. How do you feel? Well, I feel a little better. I'm able to rest and relax a little more. My thoughts are calmer. Let's do another scan. Let's confirm what you're telling us. Another brain scan, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. All the red, orange, dark, warm colors are gone just after 3 weeks on the X39. This means it confirms that she had improved brain coherence. Then 3 more weeks and come on back again. Let's take another look at you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is less than 2 months using the X39. She had a complete turnaround, ladies and gentlemen. No semblance whatsoever of brain inflammation. This means she had better brain coherence, and it was confirmed by the topographic map. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of our family members suffer with such maladies as ADHD, as dementia, as Alzheimer's? Did you know that doctors and scientists are saying that there is correlation between these maladies and brain inflammation? That's what the stem cells are tailor-made for. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of us as athletes, we had a brain injury growing up? I'm not saying you have to be a pro athlete or a high-level college athlete. Just in Pee Wee football, how many of us got our bell rung, or we got knocked down, knocked out, saw stars? Coach come out there, how many fingers we got up? And we knew it was 2 all the time, whether we could see them or not. We said 2, went right back in the game to knock somebody else out or get knocked out again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to be careful of that. That is a brain injury. CTE is a real malady dealing with brain injury. We got to be careful about that. But the stem cells actually go after those type of inflammations, ladies and gentlemen. There's also other longer term results that you get from wearing the X39. This is not just something you take for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. You want to wear this on a long-term basis.
Well, long-term results. Within the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Now you can kind of compare the 4,000 genes with a glass of wine, because basically when you drink 1 glass of red wine, you get 2 genes to reset. But basically you would have to drink like 2,000 glasses of wine to compete with this patch.
You know how drunk you want to get trying to...
Don't even try it. Just go ahead and get the patch and start patching up. Those 4,000 genes will reset. Within about 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. Now we just saw the topographic view of how that brain just calmed down and became balanced. Within 3 months, the collagen is increased not only on your skin and your face, but all throughout your body. That collagen starts to increase. Within 6 months, guess what? Your actual heart reverses in age.
And not just your heart, ladies and gentlemen, all the organs in your body, because the stem cells are laying down new cells, new heart cells, new kidney cells, new lung cells, new skin cells, all over your body. And they say that for every 6 months that you wear the patch, the heart does reverse in age 8 years. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary in another month or 2. That means we have a 16-year younger heart. And that's why David Schmidt says this quote, and my wife loves this quote.
It's not anti-aging, it's
age reversing. Anti-aging is like getting some of that skin cream and you pat it under your... And then the wrinkles go away. But heaven forbid, if you on the other side of town, you 2 hours away from your house, and you will be like Cinderella pumpkin. You done the wrinkles done pop right back in. That's anti-aging. Age reversing is new cells actually being laid down, ladies and gentlemen. Now, how do you wear the X39?
Well, basically you wear it for 12 hours on and 12 hours off. You can, after you wear it, you just throw it away and start over the next day. The best time to put it on is in the morning time when you're up and moving around. That way the stem cells just start moving around and fixing what needs to be fixed. And then you can repeat the process. You can wear more than 1. They say you can wear up to 2. You get 40% more return when you wear 2. But when you go past 2, don't even do it because you're wasting your patches at that point. Drink plenty of quality water. It's very important to stay hydrated with good quality water like reverse osmosis water, quality spring water, cucumber water, that good coconut water. And you can drink that fruit water, but try to stay away
Coca-Cola?
No, that's what I started to say. Try to stay away from all those sodas and all those
Hawaiian punch fruit juice.
No, all those high fructose drinks. Try to stay away from those. Drink quality water so those stem cells can do what they need to do.
Many of us actually experience a detox effect, and that's another reason why you want to stay hydrated, to get those toxins to actually flush out of your body. Now, who are we as a company? Who is LifeWave? Hey, it's a 20-year global company. This is very, very important. Wait a minute, I thought this was going to be some kind of ground floor opportunity that I was seeing for the first time, like Apple, Microsoft. Yes, you are seeing this product for the first time, but it is backed by a 20-year company that has a solid balance sheet. Put your business hat on. That means there's no debt in the company. Their balance sheet is strong. They're open now in more than 80 countries. They've already been through that regulatory infrastructure. They are self-manufacturing. What that means for you is that it means that they don't farm out the manufacturing, they manufacture themselves. Now nobody can reverse engineer this patent and steal the technology. You know, they were doing very well as a company for the first 20 years in business, up until 2021, doing about $20 million in annual sales. Pretty good for most companies. But for the home-based business market arena, that doesn't really raise a whole lot of eyebrows until and the reason why you and I hadn't heard about it is because these were mostly clinicians who were just sharing the patches with their patients, doctors, naturopathic healers, acupuncturists, chiropractors, nurse practitioners, physical therapists. They were just sharing the technology patch with their patients. Unless you and I were one of those patients, we would never have known about the patch because they did not have the expertise to get the word out, though they knew what a great technology this patch was. But then there came along Steve and Gina Merritt, two people who had already made multiple millions of dollars in another home-based business and created over 100 millionaires. They went to their first LifeWave national convention now, and they saw 1,300 people there, and they said, my God, this screams business opportunity. There's nobody in this convention like us. There are people with lab coats and wearing pencil pocket protectors. There's nobody there like us who knows how to get the word out. All we got to do is get this word out. And they started getting the word out. They shot the company, rocketed the company to $320 million in sales in 1 year. They said, we got to get some more people involved. People like Ken and Lynn Robinson, who were also involved in that long distance home-based business that Mr. Oliver introduced me to some 35 years ago. They know how to get the word out. Ken and Lynn Robinson helped rocket the company to $430 million in sales in 2023. They knew Chris Oliver, of course, from that same home-based business in the long distance sector. They said, Chris definitely knows how to get the word out. Let's get him involved. When he got involved, he helped rocket the company to $600 million in sales in 2024. They've just broken ground on a new manufacturing facility in Dallas. They've got them all around America and all around the world manufacturing these technology patches. They now have infrastructure in place to manufacture $5 billion worth of patches. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize how much wealth is going to be created over the next few years? It is absolutely phenomenal. And one of the reasons why this growth is possible is they're not using traditional advertising. They're not using radio, TV, celebrity spokesmen. Those are very high cost, low return methods of advertising. The best and the cheapest form of advertising is word of mouth. The other reason that they're having this tremendous growth is real simple.
Yeah, because the fact that this is not a Me Too product like most companies, it's not the weight loss. Now, when you go on Facebook and online, you see those comparisons. Oh, you see all the pills, you drink this.
Everybody got a weight loss.
It's not a weight loss product. It's not a skincare product.
Everybody got a skincare problem.
It's not a hair care product.
Everybody got that.
You can go to the grocery store. You see thousands of hair care products all over the place. It's just too many of them. It's not a hair care product. And it's not the Forex trading. And it's not the crypto deals neither.
What happened to them last crypto deal when the thing went up? Now it's going back down. All them crypto deals is folding. As soon as you shoot back up, crypto deals pop back up. No, this is not Me Too, ladies and gentlemen. It's exclusive. And that literally screams business opportunity. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we do is we have a very simple conversation. We basically just share with people about the information about the X39. We ask people whether we know them or we don't know them. Hey, what do you know about stem cell technology? Most people say nothing. Some people say a little, no matter what they say. Did you know by age 30, half of them are going dormant? Did you know by age 60, 90% of them are going dormant? No, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's why we're feeling the effects of aging. We partner with a company that has an all-natural way to reactivate that body's intended repair system. Is it okay if I send you a website? There's nothing to buy there, but if this is at info.com, many of you have already been there, should go there, and you go and take a look at that website so I can get your feedback on what you're seeing. We would really appreciate your feedback because the company's in this launch phase, so that feedback would be greatly appreciated. Is it okay if I follow back up with you tomorrow? Great. How many of us can do that?
Yes.
I'm not good at sales. Did it sound like I just sold anything?
No.
We don't want good salesmen. We want people who are comfortable recommending a good movie, comfortable recommending a restaurant. How many of us have ever done that?
Yes.
What if the restaurant or the movie theater, just because you recommended it one time, cuts you a check for their entree, their dessert, their salad, their candy, their soda, their popcorn? What if they cut you back a check every time that person came back, whether you talk to them again or not? Would you be happy with that? Could you do that?
Yes.
Sure we could.
Exactly.
And ladies and gentlemen, all of this information about the patent, the 80 clinical studies, the information about the X39 is on this website. This is at info.com. Go there. That's where you can do real research on this company and on this product. There's nothing to buy there, so nobody's forcing you into do anything or coercing you into doing anything. But ladies and gentlemen, there you can do real research. Ladies and gentlemen, Google, that's not research. Anything could be said on Google. Ladies and gentlemen, this is real research. And ladies and gentlemen, it goes all the way even to the testimonials. And these testimonials, there's a testimonial matrix where you can get anecdotal evidence of what other people's success have been using the X39, all the way to using this even on children. And you can find out, and this anecdotal evidence is not scientific. You can't make a scientific experiment for every single thing that's out there, but the anecdotal evidence is overwhelming. And we're going to share with you now some of this anecdotal evidence. We're going to ask our business partners to go ahead and raise their hand, to unmute, to share with us their experience using the X39. And the way we do it, we're going to start first with my wife. The way we do it is we tell who, first say your name and let us know who introduced you to the patches, what type of issues, if any, you were dealing with but prior to using the patches, what happened after you placed the patches on, and what you see going forward into the future with these particular patches. And we're going to start first with my wife, Joetta.
Sure. Now, Kevin is the one that introduced me to the patch, and before I started using the patch,
And she said, "What you and Mr. Oliver getting involved in now?"
I sure did. I sure
I
did.
got to tell y'all that.
And before I started using the patch, I had some discomfort in my neck area, and I had problems sleeping in the bed. I had to use certain pillows, and when I rode in the car, I had to wear like an airplane pillow around my neck just to travel in comfort. And about 4 to 5 days after I started using the patch, I noticed that discomfort went away. I could sleep how I wanted to sleep. I didn't have to use special pillows. And when I rode in the car, I no longer had to use that airplane pillow around my neck. Also, I noticed that I'm noticing a better condition of my skin. And I'm loving that because, you know, it's age reversal. So I'm loving the fact that I look younger than I used to look. And I'm enjoying those aspects of the patch. And I'll be using this basically forever.
And we're going to go next to a couple of our partners. We're going to go to Burley Rogers and then Mr. Edward Smith and then Mr. Lawrence Willis. Burley Rogers, are you able to unmute yourself at this time?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, partner. Go right ahead.
Awesome. Yes, sir. I was introduced to patch by Mr. Edward Smith from Gary, Indiana. And he knew I was dealing with some issues as a Virginia State motorcycle trooper. So I had a couple of accidents, and I was dealing with sciatic nerve damage and neuropathy and torn rotator cuff. Initially, I was reluctant. I was, nah, I'm good. I keep popping pills. But Mr. Smith was persistent. He called me 2 more times. I said, okay, I'll try the patch. Started the patch August 24th of last year. 3 days later, I had zero pain. I'm back in the gym, doing 120 to 130 push-ups a day, 3 times a week. And the best sleep that I ever had in my life So I am so glad Mr. Smith was persistent with me, and I can assure you that I will be wearing this patch for the rest of my time. Back to you, sir.
Outstanding. And coincidentally, we are going to go to that phenomenal gentleman out in Gary, Indiana. Mr. Edward Smith, are you unmuted at this time?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me, Mr.
Loud and
Ali?
clear, partner. Go right ahead.
Yes, yes. Listen here. Last August, I was introduced to the patch by Mr. Rudy Clay Jr. And at the time, he did not know I was going through some issues. Man, I mean, this X39 patch ultimately helped me participate in my own rescue. Hear me. I'm 70 years of age. Ooh, I'm 2 months from 71. And guess what? You all wish to get older, but you don't wish for what comes along with it. But at this time, when Mr. Rudy Clay Jr. introduced this to me, I was going through some issues. Yes, had neuropathy and pain. In August, utilized the patch, and within 3 weeks, guess what? I still had neuropathy, but I didn't have the pain. All right. Not only that, guess what? Congested heart failure. Going back and forth to the doctor for several months. The congestion's still there. I was tired, couldn't hardly make it to the bathroom. It got pretty bad, couldn't hardly sleep, was choking. But guess what? About a month of using this patch, guess what? The congestion went away and it's been great ever since. But my greatest testimony, let me tell you this. I was placed on dialysis. Oh, last year was a bad year. Okay, last year in January, got introduced to the patch. Thank you, Mr. Rudy Clay Jr., because he didn't know what I was going through. Utilized this patch. Guess what? Up until October, the end of October. Guess what? My kidney doctor came to me and said, you know what? Your levels look a little better. We're going to take you from being on dialysis 3 days a week for 4 hours to 2 days a week for 4 hours. That's all. Thank you. Continue using the patch. Guess what? My levels got better to the point that on January 28th, it was a Tuesday, the doctor came to me and the nurse said he wanted to talk to me. I said, man, my levels are good. What's wrong? He says, well, listen, I've been looking at your lab work and also your kidneys has improved to the point that today is your last day on dialysis. I'll be utilizing this patch till the day I die. Teamwork makes the dream work. And I teamed up with this patch and life is much better. Thank you, Mr. Rudy Clay.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Outstanding, phenomenal. Next, we're going to go down to Atlanta to Pastor Lawrence Willis, or maybe it's his better half, First Lady Barbara Willis. Can you unmute yourself at this time?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Oh, here we go.
Barbara's just doing some other things, making some phone calls. But look, I want to thank Chris Oliver and for sharing this patch with me, and I shared it with my wife. Very skeptical at first. I mean, what is this? I mean, the body has been working kind of all right, I thought. But then I started listening more carefully about the benefits of stem cell rejuvenation, and it began to make sense. So I tried the patch. First day, nothing happened. Second day, nothing happened. Third, fourth, fifth day, I noticed that I wasn't having as much pain in my knees and my hips because I had uh, two knee replacements and two hip replacements, and things get kind of sore from time to time. But at the age of 78, I mean, there are a lot of things that are just messing up in the body. But what I've noticed is that the discomfort, the lack of steadiness, and walking in the rooms and wondering, well, why am I there? My brain, the cognition was working much better. So I attribute it to the patch. I'm sticking with it. That's the way it is. And I want to thank, again, Mr. Oliver, and certainly want to encourage others to just give it a try because the body is an amazing instrument. And if you can get it to operate the way it was designed to, man, you'll have a much better life. Thank you very much, Kevin and Joetta. Outstanding presentation.
Thank you,
Thank
partner.
you.
Outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even going to go into the details of my testimony. I'm a relatively healthy 62-year-old. You guys have seen the video. I'm 62 years old. I work out very heavily. I'm actually gaining muscle mass at this point now. Mr. Edward Smith outlined the importance of staying on the patch. Pastor Harry Johnson from Seattle, Washington said he was grateful that he stayed on and listening to the calls because all these people cannot be lying. It took us this long to get our bodies in the condition that they're in. We got to give the body time to get it out of the condition that they're in. That's why I'm going to continue to use the patch, even though now my knees, when they couldn't bend at a 90-degree angle, now they can bend all the way down to the ground. I can explode out. I can do a roundhouse kick over my head. I can do that crane kick like in the Karate Kid over my head at 62. My wife sees it all the time. People are shocked at how old I actually am. So guys, you probably are wondering by this time, how do I get these? How can I become a customer? Well, the person who invited you to the call has a website. You go to that website, you click on shop, and then you can either become a retail customer. That's somebody who really doesn't understand what I just said about using these patches long-term to correct the long-term issues. Then you get those patches, a 30-day supply for $150. That's 30, and you get them in what's called a sleeve. 30 patches come in the sleeve. That's about a 30-day supply right there. But wait a minute, Kevin and Joetta, you said we can get involved for about $100. Yeah, to do that, you got to become a preferred customer. What's the difference in a preferred and a retail customer? Not a whole lot, except the preferred customer just says, I'm going to place a debit or credit card on file so that I can automatically get these sent out every single month on a subscription basis. We're used to subscriptions. Netflix, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, we're used to subscriptions. They don't bill you up front. The company's a $1 billion company. They're not going to steal your money up front. but you put that there because you don't want to go a day without these patches. You want to keep those levels of stem cells elevated and high because they're working on things in the body that you and I don't even feel. We don't feel our fingernails growing, but they are. We don't feel our hair growing, but they are. We don't feel the white blood cells fighting disease in our body, but they are, and we don't feel the stem cells correcting issues in our body, but they will when you keep them motivated. So by this time, ladies and gentlemen, you're probably wondering, what is in this for me? We've seen the solidity of the company, the patented product, the business opportunity is there. The opportunity is there. The market is wide open. Everyone who breathes, all we got to do is have the right plan behind it, and we believe that we have that right business plan behind this. And ladies and gentlemen, we make no promises of what you can make in this particular company, but except for one, we will make one promise: if you don't do nothing, you will get absolutely nothing. And in these uncertain times, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a witness that we have to have a backup plan. At 62 years old, I was getting too expensive for that Fortune 500 company to keep paying me as a software engineer when they can pay somebody fresh out of school half as much. But I had a backup plan. People who understand multiple streams of income. Don't just have one product. People need all kinds of products, multiple streams of income. And that's what we have here is multiple streams of income within this one product. We get paid 4 different ways right now, soon to be 9 different ways. We got first the retail profits. The way the retail works is, most people understand that, when somebody gets these patches for $150, you, the brand partner who signed that customer up, you will get a $50 bonus in your back office the very next week, plus 77 business volume points. We'll talk about those business volume points in a little bit. And then when somebody gets signed up as a preferred customer, remember, somebody who's on the subscription, when they sign up as a preferred customer, you still get a $20 bonus in your back office the very next week, plus those 43 business volume points. Well, $20, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of money. Oh yeah, watch this. Look at the law of large numbers. Go ahead and get you 10 preferred customers next week. That's an extra $200. That takes care of your 2-sleeve subscription where you don't even have to go in your pocket anymore for it. Now you're almost on your way to 50 preferred customers in your first month or 2 in the business. 50 preferred customers times $20 is what? $1,000 a year, right?
No, it's a month, actually.
No, ladies and gentlemen, it's $1,000 a month, month after month. You don't have to go back to those people because they are on the subscription. All you did was have one conversation with them, and they're going to reorder whether you talk to them again or not, because they want to keep their stem cells very high and highly activated. The second way we get paid is through the product introduction bonuses. This is where you as a brand partner sign up another brand partner. Well, what's the difference between a brand partner and a customer? Not a whole lot, except the brand partner gets a little bit of upfront inventory and is committed to sharing this with others. When you sign up somebody at the core package, you get a $35 bonus in your back office the very next week. When you sign them up at the advanced package, you get a $75 bonus the very next week. And when they sign up at our most popular package, the premium package, you get $405 one-time bonus in your back office the very next week, along with 745 business volume points. Go ahead and get you 2 premium custom brand partners this week, today, this month, whatever the time frame. With an extra $800, would that help as a one-time bonus? You better believe it will. And if you'll remember, at the different starting positions, the first one is called Core. That's $295. You get 3 of these sleeves of product. Now you got a little inventory for you, a little bit for your wife, maybe one to share. At the advanced package, the price per sleeve is coming down a little bit. I'll explain to you why you got to have this upfront inventory. Now you get 6 sleeves of product for $535, not $600. Well, why are we doing this? Look at the premium package. The premium package, $1,750. No, not $2,000. You get 20 sleeves of the product. Why do I need all these sleeves up front? Because now you're going to use the wealth principle. You've got inventory now to share with others, to get other people and launch them into business. This is why Sam's, BJ's, Costco, that's why they cook food in the aisle while you're shopping for all that bulk product. And you smell it and you taste it, you're like, oh, this is good. Then you throw it in your basket because you want it. You want to share these patches. You want to use the biblical wealth principle of casting your bread on the water and watching it come back to you tenfold, because you're not concerned that they're each cost $3.33. You're concerned with, hey, I want to see how many people I can help with this. And then they'll also want it. But what's really very important is to be on that monthly subscription, whether you're a brand partner or a customer, because you want to keep those levels of stem cells high. But as a brand partner, you want to make sure you save those business volume points, because they start building up like an ATM, and we will show you how to literally cash those out with a little work on your part. The one sleeve subscription is $99. You get one sent out to you every single month, month after month. You save all those business volume points, but you can only make $100 per week in our actual binary business structure. So that's why most of us we came in here for a lot more than when my company said that to me. When the company said that to me, that we don't no longer need you, I need a whole lot more than $100 a week. That's why we signed up on the 2 sleeve subscription, because we want to have some coming in to share, to use, to sample out, and we want to maximize out the business plan so that we can make the maximum numbers that we're getting ready to show you in a second, and we want to keep all those business volume points. The third way we get paid is through the binary team commissions. Binary means 2. There's only 2 ways to come in the business, 2 legs of business. People either come on the business on the right side, or they come in on the business on the left side throughout the whole company. And everyone who gets started in the business, the very next person who gets started in the business gets placed under that person, and then they participate in that person's business volume income. That's why you guys have what's known as first movers advantage tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, you got a phone call very similar to the phone call that Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer made to their friends, neighbors, family members, and classmates. And they got in their garage in their dorm room and said, look, we're going to get this thing together called Apple. We're going to get this thing together called Microsoft. It's going to literally take over the world. You got a similar phone call to that. So you got that first mover's advantage. Do you realize that some of the people at Microsoft, they just became secretaries and went on to make billions of dollars answering the phone because they got involved in the company very early. Remember, you can only make up to $100 per week when you first get started in the business. To make more, you got to help other people. You got to help other people, and by helping other people, you make the position of what is known as manager, the most important business position in the company. 2 people you sponsor on your left, 2 people that you enroll into the business on your right. Then you are qualified now for up to $1,500 per week in the binary structure. The second earned position is called director. How do you make director? Help two people that you personally enrolled become managers. You see the trend here? Help other people. Now you're qualified for up to $2,500 per week in the binary structure. The third earned position is called senior director. How do you earn that? How do you earn up to $3,500 per week? Qualify for that. Help two people you personally sponsored make the position of director. Now you're qualified for up to $3,500 per week. Wait a minute. Are people making these positions? Everybody you heard give a testimonial is either a manager or a director. We've got dozens of directors in our global power organization. We've got several of our business partners who are right now on the verge of senior director. Mr. Chris Oliver is literally blowing through executive director, soon to be senior presidential director. These last three positions, executive director, $7,500 a week. Presidential, $12,500 per week. Senior presidential, $25,000 per week. Just in this third grade, we get paid the binary bonus team commissions. Oh my God, that's too much money. Why is it too much money when it comes to us? But Bill Gates, what's he make a day? Like $49 million a day?
Yeah.
What is Jeff Bezos worth? $300 billion or something? Why is it okay, but it's not okay for us? Well, I don't know. Money is the root of all evil. No, love of money is the root of all evil. If you're a horrible person, you get money, you're going to be a worse person. But if you and I are good-hearted people, and we are, and we get money, we will just be more of that, be able to be more charitable, be able to be more philanthropic to causes that we are concerned about. Wouldn't that be phenomenal? Mr. Oliver and I used to sit back in Montgomery, Alabama, talking about we want to mentor youth, we want to do this, we want to be an example. And he actually did it because he made a business decision. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the binary team commissions. The way that binary commission work and the compensation plan works is if that's you getting started there in the middle, you just have to enroll two people on your right and two people on your left. That's the bare minimum, not your maximum. It's just the minimum. That puts you on the road to becoming what is known as a manager. And this compensation plan is driven by people making the position of manager. The next compensation plan is going to add 5 more ways to get paid, more money in the compensation plan. That is going to be driven by making the position of manager. You just have to be at the advanced pack or greater, or have 300 personal volume lifetime points. 300 points, it takes about 5-6 months. We just say just upgrade and become an advanced pack enrollment. Now you're at manager with 2 on your right and 2 on your left. Woo, I'm getting tired of talking about all these ways to get paid. How am I going to talk about 9 ways we're going to get paid coming up? I don't even know. I'm gonna have to wear them 4 patches you said we ain't supposed to wear. The fourth way we get paid is through the matching bonuses. This is called the check match bonus. The way the check match bonus is like this. Let's say you enrolled me in the business. I'm enrolled in your first level. You want me to do well. You want me to make money. Let's say I go out and make $1,000. The company will pay you a 25% match on my check, $250 in that example, not out of my money, but as a bonus to you because you got started, you positioned yourself early. But then I know people that you don't know. I know Joetta. Joetta will be on your second level. We want to make sure Joetta does well. Let's say she goes out and earns $1,000 this week. The company will pay you a 20% match on her bonus, and you may not even know Joetta. That's another $200. Let's say you found 4 people like me on your first level, 4 people like Joetta, and those 4 people on your second level know people that you know I know. They would be on your third level. Let's say each of those 4 made $1,000. 20% match would be paid to you. In our little example of 4 people, each making $1,000 per week, that's an extra $2,600 per week, per month. At some point, it might be per day, the way this business compensation plan works, as an additional bonus. Oh, that's not possible. That's too much. What if you only got that half right? What if you only got that 10% right? With an extra $260, would that help as a check match bonus for just helping people achieve some things? Do you realize that most bankruptcies in America, half of them would be stayed off with an extra $500 per month? Ladies and gentlemen, what we have is literally phenomenal. Not only does the product work, not only is it scientifically proven, not only is it anecdotally proven, but Ladies and gentlemen, we have a phenomenal business team and a phenomenal compensation plan behind it. The This Is It team, that's Steve and Gina Merritt, who got this all started 4 years ago, rocketed the company to the heights that it is at now. And ladies and gentlemen, we are also part of Mr. Oliver's vision, the global power vision. He's been honing this method of home-based business for almost 38 years full time. All you've got to do is duplicate it, copy it, and you will have tremendous success. Global means we're thinking worldwide, and power means people organized working towards an economic revolution. We don't want to just get your money and enroll you. We want to take you step by step through Mr. Oliver's success system so that you can have success the same way that he has had this success. And ladies and gentlemen, we got business building tools to help you build your business. We got these great cards that we send out when we sample out the product. When we got started, we didn't even have these cards. We just put the patches in a plain white envelope. People calling us back, how, what, when, why, what do we do? Now we just send the card with the patches, and the card tells them how to sample it, how to wear it, some of the benefits of wearing it, and where to go for additional information. We already dispelled the notion that you can't sell, because we don't want salespeople. We just want people who know how to share an opportunity, but maybe you can't talk to people all day. We got an app, the InTouch, LifeWave InTouch app, that you can leverage the power of your smartphone. And there's 500 to 3,000 people in your smartphone who you can send out a message to. Tell them a little bit about the X39. Send them out a 2-minute quick video. Send them out a longer video. Send them out a briefing. Show them how to sign up as a customer. All with video. You can see when they view it. You can do marketing from your phone instead of playing games on your phone. You can play a real game, which is the business game, with the power of your cell phone. A lot of companies charge for these apps. $50, $100 a month. My wife has seen these type of apps. You get this for free for partnering up with us, ladies and gentlemen. We even also have live events. We had one in Atlanta. We've got one coming up in Orlando, Florida, the weekend of August 8th through the 10th. I got to get my slide for this. And we are cranking up live events all over the country that are showing the power of the global power system. We want to see everybody there with us in Orlando the weekend of August 8th through the 10th, where the This Is It team and the Global Power team and the Digital Alliance team will all be there, the fastest growing team in all of LifeWave. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got it all. All you got to do is make a decision. It's not complicated. It's not hard. We're not going to try and convince you. Just let us know, are you in or are you out? We're going to ask you, the person who invited you out is going to ask you to rate yourself. We're not going to rate you. We're not going to force you. A man convinced against his will, he's of the same opinion still. They're going to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 means I'm probably not interested in the business, but then you probably want to be a customer, 1 through 4. You only got one body. You only got one life. Your stem cells are going dormant. We might as well reactivate them so that you can have give your body the best chance to naturally repair itself with its intended repair system, the stem cells. And a 10 is somebody who wants to say, hey man, I want to get started now, and I mean right now. That means get started right now. You got a couple of situations to work out, that ain't a 10. That ain't now, not right now. But if you're a 7, 8, or 9, that means you got some situation to work out. You got a couple of questions. Don't run from us. Don't run from the person who invited you out. If you got a couple of questions, we'll go over that with you and map out a game plan so that you can answer those questions and you can make an informed business decision with us to partner up with us. And ladies and gentlemen, I know it's hard. $1,750, that's an awful lot of money. It's an awful lot of money compared to what? Joetta and I went to a what was that that conference we went to with the franchises a couple of weeks ago. The cheapest franchise there, ladies and gentlemen, that we saw was $50,000. The most expensive one was $300,000. Do you realize how long it takes, even in a franchise situation, not even a small base business, but a franchise? You know how long it takes to make a profit? How long does it take?
At least 2 to 5
2
years.
to 5 business years. Mr. Oliver had an insurance agency right down there on that dock where the anniversary of the hat going up in the air was a couple of weeks ago. His insurance office was right, and travel office was right down there. The sign alone for that office cost $2,000, less than it would cost to come in as a premium. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? All of your fees They're tax deductible. It's inventory. All of these fees are backed up with inventory. We got involved in that long distance business, and all we got was a box with some letters and a folder for $500. You, you actually are getting valuable product that is backed up by this. So there's literally nothing to lose. All you got to do is make a decision and partner up with us, and you will be in business for yourself, but you won't be in business by yourself. You will now have advantage of 400 so tax breaks because of having a home-based business. Because Mr. Oliver made a decision some 38 years ago, I watched him with my own two eyes, y'all. This ain't what I heard. I synced it, my own two eyes, y'all. He went from literally holes in his shoes to wearing gaiters, to driving a S500 Mercedes. And his personality, his love for people has not changed. He's the same individual I knew back in Montgomery, Alabama. And I think we got Mr. Oliver. Are you with us tonight, Mr. Oliver?
Sir, can you hear me at this time?
I hear you loud and clear. I saw you make that decision with my own two eyes, and I saw it change your life. Go ahead and close us out, Mr. Oliver.
Outstanding, outstanding. Before we let you all get away, Kevin and Joetta, I mean, literally incredible presentation. We had a soft launch that we did this weekend here in Houston. Some individuals came out, individuals' backgrounds and mortgages and the oil industry and things of that nature. But I remember a comment being made where they were comparing how couples did presentations, and the one they gave as a dynamic presentation was you all's presentation, man. So I'm looking at what you all are doing, how y'all are actually sharing the opportunity. Now it's seamless almost, and I remember when y'all first got going, showing this plan, and now have been able to hit not only manager, have gone through director. Matter of fact, y'all got both positions just about knocked out, director, heading in the senior director right now. So I'm definitely proud of what you're doing. And for those that are listening in, I just want to say this to you. You've seen the information. Now, the question is, do you believe it? Here's the one thing you got to look at. I started studying the body back when I was 18 years old, stopped eating pork back then, and used to get ridiculed for it in Alabama at the time because people couldn't understand how I grew up being the one that shot the hog and did all of that. And here it was now, I wasn't eating it because I lost my dad at 21 years old from my aneurysm, and that came from high blood pressure. So I learned about sugar and then gave up all the whites, white flour, white sugar, white bread, fasting for 20-some days in a row. I did all of that because here it is at age 58, and what I studied back then, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You have this at your fingertips with this patch right now because it can literally reset many of your bodies 10, 20, 30 years backwards, and you can catch up. So just imagine being able to lift what you used to, being able to run, and everything I did in my 20s, I can still do it now. But I just want to say this to you because I've seen people get involved, even with us. We've only been here for about 9, 10 months or whatever it is. But I see some people say, well, I gave it a couple of months. Well, I don't understand it because if you give a job 30 years and it didn't work in 30 years, how you going to give this a couple of months? See, one thing I realized is that, yes, I was fortunate enough to work an industry like this and get my time and freedom in my 20s, but I don't have the college degree. There are many of you listening right now. You got your BS, BA, MBA, PhD, JD, elemental P degree. I had 30 hours left in mechanical engineering at Tuskegee, but when I saw an opportunity in a vehicle to put your head down for a year or two and never work for anybody else, that to me just made common sense and business sense. And so what you have your hands on right now, I wish this is what we had back when I got involved back in the 80s, in 1987 when I got in the home-based business arena. I wish we had something like this. This is the most incredible thing. I've never had a product that's patented that we have no competition. So as he broke it down, if you don't want to get it from our company, LifeWave, there's nobody else you can get it from. Then the other thing is, think about this now. We only do two things. We get customers and we get customer getters. Some individuals, entrepreneurial minded, want to be able to bring in income and realize that we're talking about passing something on for generations. We got to get you, well, I need to say, we need to get out of being used to it's other people who have generational wealth. So right now, let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain just for a second to say that there is nothing else like this, because I've studied comp plans. I work with CEOs, help them modify comp plans, help them develop systems. That system he showed you online that you could send out videos with, I just helped to create that for another company. You have it here where they're not even charging you. We had to charge because of the investment that we put in to get it up and running. But this company is giving it away for free. This company has a patent which says, even if you're not good, you don't like sales, you don't have to sell anything because they can't get it nowhere else. And then they're going to pay us for doing this. And it's residual, which means when you wake up in the morning, it's a good feeling to have income being made more than some people are making all week when your eyes open up each day sometimes. So all we are looking at is, we're not looking for everybody. We're running right now. But all you got to do is decide tonight whether you're going to run with us. Because this company did $600 million without you. And I'm going to say this very humble. We're going to hit $1 billion this year with you or what? Without you. Because Microsoft didn't have this talk with you. Y'all may get upset with me how I'm saying it. But what was your phone call like with Microsoft? What was your phone call like with Amazon? What was your phone call like with Intel and NVIDIA and all these other multi-billion-dollar companies? They didn't call us because we wasn't in the country club. We wasn't in the boardrooms. So what Kevin and Joetta just broke down for you, homiletically, parenthetically, let it deal with your higher intellect just for a second to say, everybody you know is dealing with something. Or either their loved one, their spouse, has some kind of health issue, or it may be a parent. And if you're lucky enough to still have your parents, I wish I had mine. My mom in her later years dealt with dementia. And I got people this weekend told a testimonial that their parent, I think, had gone to the stage of Alzheimer's, and now they're bouncing back from dealing with that. I wish I had that shot with my dad, because he would not modify his eating habits. No matter what I took out the house, he still ran around the corner and folks selling bad plates of food out the back door in Alabama. And I couldn't stop him from doing it. You know, they were part of that generation, and I couldn't modify his eating habits. But I would have loved to have had a shot to just put a patch on. Some of y'all got that, but let me ask you a quick question. What is life going to look like for you 3 years from now? Some of the people, are you going to allow them to suffer and maybe not be here one day? And I'm not saying the patch can cure or mitigate a disease, all right? But I am saying 3 years going to come anyway. We can either just be 3 years older, or we could be 3 years healthier and wealthier at the exact same time. And if it's not this, then what? And if it's not you, then who in your family going to do this? And if not now, then when? When is it going to be? Well, Chris, I'll be ready to go when I get all my ducks lined up. Them ducks ain't going to never get lined up. I mean, sometimes we got to just go and stop making excuses. Excuses don't count in the big leagues. You cannot make money and excuses at the same time. Make a decision. That's all we're saying tonight. And if you're ready to rock and roll, guess what? Get going. Tomorrow night, we're going to be teaching, coaching, and training tomorrow night. And on Tuesday, we'll be back doing a Love Alive presentation like this. So with that said, Kevin and Joetta, great job tonight. Laid it out. I'm turning back over to you, and I know we're wrapped up.
Nothing more to say, Mr. Oliver. You've said it all. Thank you, and thank everyone for coming in, and God bless you, and we'll see everybody at the top. Take care.
Phenomenal presentation. Thank you so very much.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.